Becky Connor, her husband Dan, and their best friend Hunter are climbing a steep mountain. They are experienced climbers, but tragedy strikes when Dan loses his grip and plummets to his death. Becky is left traumatized, unable to move past her grief. 1 year later, Becky has withdrawn from life, consumed by sadness. She avoids her father, James, who urges her to move on, but Becky drowns her pain in alcohol and self-isolation. That's when Hunter, an adventurous and thrill-seeking social media influencer, reappears. She believes that facing fears head-on is the only way to move forward. So, she proposes something extreme, climbing the abandoned B-67 TV tower, a rusting 2,000-foot metal structure in the middle of the desert. Hunter hopes that by pushing Becky beyond her limit, she'll help her heal from Dan's death. Despite her initial resistance, Becky ultimately agrees. The two women travel to the base of the tower, parking far away to avoid detection. The tower is old, rusted, and visibly unstable, but Hunter, always chasing the next big thrill, is undeterred. They begin their climb, the camera capturing breathtaking aerial shots that emphasize the sheer height and danger. At first, the ascent is smooth, but Becky hesitates, haunted by memories of Dan's accident. Hunter encourages her, filming the climb for her social media followers. Finally, they reach the tiny platform at the top, where they take in the dizzying, awe-inspiring view. For a moment, Becky feels alive again, but their victory is short-lived. As they prepare to descend, disaster strikes. The rusty ladder they climbed up collapses beneath them, crashing to the desert floor. Now, they are stranded at the very top, with no way down. Panic sets in as they assess their situation. They are 2,000 feet above the ground, with no cell signal. Their supplies consist of a backpack with some water, a phone, a drone, and a few snacks. Hunter suggests various ways to get help. First, they try using their phone, but the signal is too weak. Then, they drop Hunter's phone, cushioned inside her shoe, hoping it will survive the fall. Unfortunately, it smashes on the rocks below. With the sun beating down on them, their water supply dwindles. Becky, overwhelmed with fear, begins to lose hope, but Hunter remains determined. She decides to climb down a small section of the tower to retrieve a backpack that had fallen onto a satellite. The climb is treacherous, but she manages to reach it, securing extra water and a drone. That night, Becky confesses her lingering heartbreak over Dan's death. In a shocking twist, Hunter reveals a painful secret. She had an affair with Dan before he died. Becky is devastated by the betrayal, and the emotional weight of the situation deepens their tension. As their situation grows more dire, Hunter devises a new plan. They will fly their drone down to a nearby diner, attaching an SOS note to it. But just as the drone nears safety, a passing truck destroys it, crushing their last hope. Desperate, Becky begins hallucinating from dehydration and exhaustion. She envisions Hunter encouraging her and helping her stay strong. They fight off vultures together and make one last attempt at survival. Then comes a horrifying realization. In a gut-wrenching moment, Becky discovers that Hunter never made it back to the top after retrieving the backpack. She had fallen to her death, and Becky had imagined her presence the entire time. With no other options left, Becky makes a daring move. She ties her phone, containing an SOS message, to Hunter's body and pushes it off the tower. The hope is that someone will find the body and read the message. Becky barely holds on, fighting off hunger and thirst. In a gruesome survival moment, she kills a vulture and eats it raw to stay alive. The next morning, Becky's father arrives with authorities. Her desperate message had worked. She is finally rescued, traumatized but alive.